It's another beautiful Tuesday morning. Yes, this is Ocean State Broadcasting Corporation, reaching you live on 113 Star Times 502 Free TV, and on YouTube it is Osbc TV. My name is Benga Faminu, together with Shola. This
My
lovely
name is
Tuesday morning.
Shola Egbodo. Good morning, and I want to appreciate everybody watching us on channel 30.
Yeah, 113 on Star Times. Yes, you are supposed to
And
be in
today's
red. Yes,
this one is
you are supposed to be in red
can't you
this
see?
morning.
Can't you see the color? Purple with mixed with pink and red.
Well, you look gorgeous.
Thank
I
you.
can't deny
And-
that.
and you
look
too.
gorgeous, but
And today
this
is
is not red.
Valentine's Day.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lovely Tuesday morning. Today, 14th day of the month of February, 2023. Yes, it's the day when the entire world celebrates LOVE.
Love.
Yes, LOVE. But somebody will ask that does that mean that okay, if we celebrate love on 14th February, what do we celebrate on other days of the year? So are we now saying that it's only once in a year that we celebrate love?
We must celebrate love every day.
Every day, thank
Every
you.
day.
That is the
Every
point.
day,
Another person raises a concern that okay, if the rest of the world is truly celebrating love, is Nigeria should Nigerians also celebrate love? What do we have to celebrate? Where is the love? That I mean, in the neighborhood, everybody people seem to be so scared now. You prefer to stay indoor in your own house. You can't trust your neighbor. You can't even go back to your hometown. You are so scared to go to your farm. Everybody seems to be suspicious of one another. So where is the love? Well, it is true, the concern is there. But maybe on a day like this, it should be a day for us to reflect. It's a day we should encourage one another. That they say that a friend in need is a friend indeed. That means crisis time is the time to know true friendship.
Yeah.
Crisis time is the time to know true love.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a day we should remind one another that love is not a question of when it is sweet. It should be at all times. At all times. Maybe today is a day for us to reflect. That it's a day for us to try to think, do I have somebody to forgive? Seriously, it can be very difficult to forgive. Maybe if I have somebody to forgive, maybe it's a day I should think about doing that. Maybe it's a day we should think of reuniting husbands and wives and things like that. Okay, maybe we'll still talk about that before we round off later. But today, our focus is on what happened yesterday. World Radio Day. Yes, World Radio Day was yesterday as declared by UNESCO. Yes, that February 13th, we should remember the importance of the technology called radio, the medium of communication that came into our world in the 1920s. And we have in our midst a round peg in the round hole. Shola, who do we have this morning?
A veteran journalist.
To do justice to the conversation.
Outspoken.
Yes. Yes.
Comrade. I will call him.
Is it comrade?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
Comrade Larry Fadamsi.
It's a pleasure having you in the house this morning.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm happy to see you on Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Thank
exactly.
you very much.
Yeah, we'll still talk about that. But
to start with, can you recollect event leading to the establishment of first radio station in the globe? And since then, what's been the impact of radio in shaping the world?
It's like communication itself had its roots in so many other things, and it has to do with deep thinking. When Alexander Graham Bell brought about the telephone, he was looking for a way of one person in communicating with another from a distance, and he came up with the telephone. However, it was an attempt to now see how do we improve on all of this to create a larger conference of people communicating. And we got to the gramophone, I think we used to have one in the
Telegram first.
Telegram
Came first.
So Telegram, one with voice.
Oh yes.
With voice,
Talking
it
about
was a station
Yes.
that just played music, but it was not radio.
Yes.
But later, radio came, and with the coming of radio, it became an opportunity for people to pass messages, to rebrand society. It was meant for humanity, basically, to be able to communicate, and you'll discover that over time, it has evolved. And
Okay, before we talk about how fight has evolved,
Go.
is it right or wrong to say it was a technology, an invention that was not deliberately created?
in most cases, inventions were not
Deliberate.
exactly
Okay.
deliberate. It will be deliberate in attempt.
Yeah.
The result will now turn out to be something else. You might be looking for something, and in the process, stumble
Discover
on
something
another.
else.
So that's how you came about computers and all the rest of them.
Exactly.
You were looking for something, and another thing just happened on
And
you.
that's it.
And somebody who had the vision of, like for instance, the phone, had the idea that over time it might develop into something that could inculcate radio,
That's it.
that could have television.
Television.
That, so the mind is so broad that it keeps thinking things.
Yes.
And at the end of it all, some people had inventions that their names came upon and they didn't plan
And that's
it
it.
to be.
And now-
If the atomic bomb and all the rest of them
Exactly.
were mistakes.
Yes. Yes.
They were mistakes, and suddenly
mistakes
it
turned
became
miracles.
Miracle to,
Yes.
to some extent, it might be negative.
Miracles to the
A
world.
lot of things that
Yes.
the world has latched on to use to advantage were errors of production.
Errors of production. Awesome. That's very inspiring and motivational. And now, talking about how fight has evolved. Today's generation, we are talking about radio. How relevant is radio to today's generation?
Yes,
Does it still exist?
It's now contextual because you talk about the third world, you talk about developing nation, you talk about developed nation, and so for each strata of society, it is the valve and drive of leadership that determines where it will belong. In our climate, radio is still king. The population of Nigeria, if you ask what population of Nigeria is below poverty line, you don't need to ask. We are journalists
Yes.
in the news session, and so you know that when you have about over 150 million people below poverty line, the best means of communication, one, where they reside, there probably isn't electricity.
That's right.
Where they reside, there probably isn't water, that is potable water like that. And so, if there's going to be any form of entertainment that could immediately get to them, it's probably through radio. When they're on the farm with their transistor, a little battery or some charge somewhere, you place it by the, and you are doing your cultivation. You listen to program, you laugh, you get amused, you get entertained. So people around here cannot say radio is not relevant. And whoever is doing whatever, especially when it comes to democratic precepts in society, you need radio. Because that is what gets to the core.
Now let's
Now,
look at
human-
the impact
So
of
what has
Okay.
radio contributed to the political development in the nation?
Now it now depends on content. That's why you see some radio stations, radio organizations having developed content enough to get traction more than others. It doesn't matter about age. If you cannot, process your content to be in tune with what, and the sad part is that you can use radio to positive advantage
a negative.
and it could be negative. However, it is easiest to pass information, and so the information you feed or pass through it now builds or destroys society.
Let's quickly take a look at the effects of technological change on radio as a medium of communication. Now, there is a dimension to changes in technology that also changes how radio is consumed. Today, before now, terrestrial signals were the in thing.
Yeah.
Today, terrestrial signals are dying out so fast, meaning that even transistor receivers, transistor radios are changing very fast. And what is dominant today is the mobile phone, radio or mobile phone. So, does that not mean that it will get to a stage if data penetration in a third world country like Nigeria, if data penetration does not get to the rural areas, does that not mean that a certain percentage of the population will be deprived somewhere along the line?
Yes, I am happy you are bringing this up. Now, the first thing everybody must understand is that humanity is telling us, you move with the tide or shift and allow the tide to move. So you get shoved if you don't align yourself to that development. But don't be afraid that maybe it will destroy radio. One thing we always give, that's the point about technology. The best thing that happened to storage of materials and all before computer per se was the electronic typewriter. At that time that the electronic typewriter was very popular was the same time when you either decide to buy a Kodak film or Agfa or a Tudor. All those ones are gone. So if you don't move with time, time leaves you behind. And as time is going, it's also creating freer and cheaper. You mentioned your other station that was free to air.
Yes.
So even if people cannot pay for pay TV, you can also still watch free. So, and those who have the free have where they make their own pay to. So you must be creative enough to know, look, if I'm offering people free, those I'm offering free have some things they need. So those who offer those needs of those who are watching free would come and advertise at my end. So you must bring the business sense into it as well. So ordinarily one would have thought, is it not going to disenfranchise or the poor or the masses? But I'm telling you, in the past, there was a time that
if data penetration is not good,
now data
is that not
penetration
going to happen?
all those ones are issues of time, because as some people are coming, you see, mercantile attitude brings about change that also lessens burdens. That's why I said, someone will just come and say, look, I want to break the monopoly of so and so.
Oh, right, that's
and I'm bringing this on. And
good.
When that person brings that on,
that's good.
At the initial stage, it might not be too encouraging business-wise.
Yes.
But you just see people, the traffic. And once that traffic is, and that person will be smiling.
Like a radio offline.
Yeah.
That will not necessarily need data.
I will need
on
data.
Mobile phone.
And something will be the attraction therein. However, you see, something will always provide. And at some point, you still see some people who look around and say, wait a minute, some people don't get this.
Yes.
Why do I have it all?
That's right.
I'm spreading love to humanity.
That's right.
And you break the ranks of those who are commercially extorting. But by and large, it's a world that is broad and open. So something will always come. But the development is what we should encourage. Like all those small, tiny phones that are whatever. By the time new versions come, the old ones become cheaper. When the old ones are cheaper, it means those we refer to as very bottom wrong, they don't have access to that. And they don't need much. They don't need much of what you do. You don't want to watch film, they just want to listen and know what is going on in the world.
So the future of radio is still bright.
It's bright. I can't, you can't rule it out. Even the ships use it, airplanes use it and all. So it's still there for everybody. You just take the one appropriate enough to meet your needs are used.
Okay, sure.
Okay, with the proliferation of radio stations in the country, most especially in Osho, what positive or negative could this have on social, cultural, and political development?
Radio everywhere now.
Yeah.
Radio everywhere.
Every
That's what I was saying.
Every
Every
corner.
corner.
Let me tell you, you could start your radio in your
room.
and in 3 months, modestly. That's 1/4 or thereabout. You have traction than all.
Yeah.
If your content is original, it's originality that is selling now. And so people should sit down scientifically and put, hello, what are we doing? Are we really doing business? Do we want to be in this business? I'm serious about it. You can see, and the best way to understand if you are communicating, if you are getting to your desired audience, is to get feedback on
from the
every
audience.
Yeah.
social.
How do we avoid
And if you are not
abuse?
doing that, sorry,
How do we avoid abuse?
now the abuse is not.
She mentioned proliferation that will lead to abuse.
That's why the regulatory bodies come in. So there is radio and there is radio.
Okay.
In terms of control, is limited control because it's a free range. That's why you call it proliferation. However, if you're talking about established, I'm in your studio now because I know it is an established organization. There are rules guiding it, and that's why you see the regulatory body talking about not to be broadcast. That there are certain things you cannot go on to broadcast, and some people will, because of that control measure, come here to either promote their business, talk about what they are doing. However, the way we run society is the kind of things we get. Some people have very negative content,
Yes,
and they have traffic.
that's right. And now,
That's what we have done to
still
society.
taking it.
And when they have traffic, you discover, okay, for instance, a lot of stations might not be able to play the song of some artists. And they have 1 billion views, 1 billion.
Still taking a cue from what she said, there is this other important one you need to touch as well. Unfortunately, you are not a regulatory body, but you are an expert. Online radio. Online radio is the new generation. And that one, in fact, proliferation is worse at that level. It's just like we have bloggers everywhere, and they easily spread fake news.
Yeah.
Online radio is off the control of regulators.
It is
How do you react to
It is not so much as if it is off the control of regulators. It is knowing what to do and being savvy about it. Now, when you want to use technology and you are illiterate, I'm not saying you don't know how to do it, but when it comes to technology, you don't have the know-how. How do you block a blogger that is doing nonsense?
That's right.
How do you arrest somebody you cannot even track where he is?
That's it.
So if you are not in tune with technology, you cannot checkmate technology. So you must be ahead or look for people. That's why in established countries, in the first world we call that, in America, if you are doing a wrong thing in your house, within minutes, they enter and pick you up. Because one, they are ahead of you. As you are entering the terrain of technology to do things, people hack accounts of government and steal money. Because they know how to bust they don't need to bust pipelines.
Yeah,
They use technology to enter into your vault.
that's true.
And they remove your money. Of countries, not individual. All the small Yahoo, there is higher level of people who have a whole building of equipment to do that.
Does that not portend a dangerous future for us?
Not for everywhere. So that's why you must not stay on a spot. You must not be. It's unfortunate that, you see, for instance, in Nigeria today, it's not a digression anyway because we're talking about radio.
Yes.
You could track bandits who negotiate on phone, who collect ransom on phone, and you are not arresting anybody. So definitely it's either you are not savvy technologically enough to do that, or you are pretending. Somebody somewhere is pretending. You have communications outfit, you have all the rest. The ministry that is supposed to monitor the airwaves and see what is going on. So if somebody is ahead of you in terms of knowledge of technology, then you are at a disadvantage. And in nations of the world where things appear to be working, they pick you up the moment they know you are gifted. You don't have to be academically bright or intelligent, but the moment they see, hello, how did you know all of this? They draw you into a corner and know how much you know and engage you effectively that you can be very rich on it. You don't have to use it for crime. And so you will be their crime buster rather than be the one they will be running after. Okay. And so we need our agencies of government, or those who are supposed to control this, to be ahead of whoever they want to deal with. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that person. You look for those who know, get your situation room, so that somebody among them will always be able to go ahead of whatever. But to society, we need radio to do a whole lot more. We need radio to start changing the mindset of people. Our young people could do wonderfully well. They could do good business on the internet.
So the proliferation can be positive?
It can be positive.
Okay.
You can sit them down, and I have a friend that teaches young people how to buy, sell, and make good money on the internet. Drawing them away from the so-called Yahoo stuff, the crime stuff, that you will make very good money.
That's true.
When those young people key into that, if any policeman is saying, give me your phone, you say, take.
That's true.
I buy.
There's nothing to hide.
So nothing to hide for.
That's true.
You want to see my laptop? Okay, let me do a business in your presence. I pay from Amazon, I buy. They say, before I pay, I look for somebody who will buy from me.
Yes.
So the same, you won't even come to me.
That's true.
I buy from Amazon, I sell on Alibaba. And somebody is selling to me, the other person, that person pays me, I pay Alibaba, and I've done my business, I keep my change.
That's it.
So, but when you don't guide, they do. Boys who have not gone to school have done a lot of damage through internet fraud.
You have one more thing?
Okay. What roles could radio play in ensuring peace and harmony during and after this general elections?
In the forthcoming election, I think radio stations should, as a rule, do that social contract of protecting the people. Because don't expect the political class to come and make payment for positive things that will prevent all those vices that come with election. They won't come and tell you, okay, help us place adverts so that you tell young people not to go to Togri. Because somebody somewhere needs them for Togri.
That's true.
And that somebody somewhere wants to give money to them for Togri. But radio stations cannot possibly wait and say we are waiting for people to come and pay us so that we can promote jingles that are not going to encourage or discourage that or draw them off it. You understand? So we should, at this point, have that social contract of helping humanity and society, because the damage that comes with it is greater than whatever we think we are protecting. Our business and our, for instance, if the crisis of this money scarcity and all had been well managed, those places where I tell people, I say, wait, those of you in communities where they have damaged all the ATM machines, even when the money is available, what could have reduced your burden, you have
to travel distance.
So I mean, at the end of the day, that money is available everywhere. You must enter the banking hub.
That's
until the bank is able to change those ATM machines, you can't do jack.
That's it. Okay.
So that's the point there.
All right. Now wrapping this conversation up where we began, we've talked about and the importance of radio, and no doubt radio has contributed a lot. And I think on a day like this, we are reminding one another that as technology has made our world much better, we should not forget the human face, the humanity side of everything we are. That as